horse's conformation and how she is built affects how she moves and how she performs. So how I want to start off this video is by showing you all of her gaits, and I'm going to bring her through a walk, a trot, and then a canter. So first I'm going to start at the walk. So first I want to start with a very collected walk. So I want you to see all the parts of her walk. So I'm asking for a lot of collection right now. This doesn't quite want to move forward. This is a collected walk, and then I'm going to move her into kind of her normal walk. And then I'm going to ask her to extend out that walk a little bit. Asking for a bigger movement. So I kind of want to talk about, to start off, balance and how she carries herself. So through the walk, trot, and canter, May carries herself very balanced, and a lot of that is based on how she's built. She's built very balanced, and we talk about a lot of the times her withers and her hips back here, and if they're even or not. And because her withers and hips back here are pretty even, she's gonna move pretty evenly. If her withers were built lower, then she might kind of move into the ground and be harder to get her butt up underneath her because she's built downhill, is what you say. So throughout the walk, trot, and canter, she's a pretty balanced mover. Now I want to bring her into a trot. First, I'm going to ask for a very collective trot. So I'm asking for lots of collection here. I'm going to move her into her regular trot. And then I'm going to ask her to extend. Asking for more, bigger stride. So when we talk about collection and extending and kind of your normal gaits, we talk a lot about tempo. So in the walk, trot, and the canter, her tempo, let's say within the trot, with her collection, her normal trot, and her extended trot, the tempo should not change. So the tempo is almost the speed of your horse. It should not, the tempo should not change. It should be even throughout. What should change is your horse, when they're collected, should be kind of taking smaller steps and bringing her body in really collected, whereas if I was asking her to extend out, she should be reaching forward a lot more and kind of stretching herself out, but her speed shouldn't change. Like a lot of the times we think that, oh, I'm gonna ask my horse to extend, I'm gonna ask her to go faster, which oftentimes when they go faster, they can extend out, but that's not the idea that I'm looking for. I'm not asking her for speed, I'm asking her to stretch herself out and reach farther. So now I'm gonna move her into her canter, and I'm gonna show you a collected, a normal, and an extended canter, and then we're gonna talk a little bit about that too. to her regular canter. I'm going to ask her to extend out a little bit more. Asking for that reach. Squeezing with my legs. Ask her to walk. So one more thing I kind of wanted to talk about with gaits and stuff is the length of her stride. So when she's at the walk and she has a very collected walk, her length of stride is going to be pretty short. And then when I'm asking her for a normal walk, it's going to be a little longer. An extended walk, I want her length of stride to really stretch out. And that's the same for the trot and the canter. So the canter, what I just did, I want her to have a lot shorter length of stride at the collected canter than at the extended canter. When I ask her to extend out, I really want her to be thinking about lengthening her stride and reaching way forward, even more probably than I was. But so I'm gonna hop off a minute. Now I want to talk about a little bit of how kind of the way May is built and what jobs she is good for and that I ask her to do because she's good at them, and what jobs she maybe isn't as well suited for. So first thing I want to talk about is kind of where her neck comes out of her shoulder. So her neck is placed higher on her shoulder and it comes out higher than, say, like if it was to come out lower down here, which means she is gonna carry herself more upright and she's gonna carry her head a little higher, which is really good for saddle seat, and it's good for hunt seat, a really forward moving kind of seat. So she kind of rocks saddle seat. And I also want to talk about this slope of her shoulder right here and how it's kind of rounded. If she had a shoulder here that kind of went straight down like this, that isn't going to allow her to stretch out the way that she should be. She would have a lot shorter stride. She wouldn't quite be able to reach forward as much as she can because she has kind of a sloped shoulder, which does allow her to reach forward and stretch out and get that extendedness when I ask for it. I also want to talk about, don't follow me. Ooh. I also want to talk about her hip backing and kind of the angle of this muscle right here. If this was angled a lot more down, that shows me that she has a really powerful back end and might be good for like speed and gymkhana stuff and things where she really has to stop with her back end. If she had, say, more of an upright angle right here, she probably wouldn't have as powerful of a back end. Now, her angle, it's not super deep, it's not super high, but she has a pretty powerful back end. And I also want to talk about what jobs my horse is maybe not so great at. One being Western. She is not the greatest at Western, which is why we don't do a ton of Western. We have fun with it, but because she's such a big mover and such a forward mover and carries her head so high, it's hard for her to really kind of get the look of what they're looking for in Western, where, say, if her neck came out of her shoulder a little bit lower, then she could carry her head a little lower and get that reach that they look for in Western. And because she's such a big mover and loves to move forward and out, she just doesn't quite have the look that they're looking for in the Western classes, which is okay because we have a lot of fun with saddle seat and dressage. I haven't done a lot of jumping with her, but because she is such an upright kind of forward mover, I think she would be a really good jumper. I've gone over a couple jumps with her before and she loves it. I would just say throughout all of her gaits, really the way she's built, the finer kind of build and the forward kind of build, the uprightness that she has just in all those gaits really allows her to move out and stretch out and extend rather than get up really collected. A lot of collection is hard for her. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today, and thank you for watching.